How do we get this low? You come over and we start a fight. Never know who's wrong or right. Feel nothing when you go. I know it's not intelligent, drinking for the hell of it, but that's irrelevant now. We should talk about us. How come we're holding on? Cause really I don't see the benefits now. And you've broken my trust, so I just wonder, why do I fall back to you? Really nothing I can do about.
Hi, welcome to Love Always by Omobola Stephen. Now, my name is Omobola Stephen. I'm a life and relationship upline and also a transformational coach. And my passion really is to inspire change in people, help them walk through life unburdened by any guilt, worry, regrets, and resentment, and leading to the path of destiny fulfillment. So I'm asking you this moment, why not hold my hand and let's walk this path together? You're not going to regret it at all. Now, if you want to catch up with the missed episodes of my talk show, don't you worry. I'm going to list out the sites so you can catch up with missed episodes. Now, you search for Love Always by Omobola Stephen on Podknife, on Josephine, on iTunes, on Amazon Music, on iTunes, on Listen Notes, on Radio Public, on Backtrack FM, on Malaya, on Google Podcasts, on Podcast Addict, on Anchor, and on others.
Why do I fall back to you? It's like you're a drug to me, I can't quit. It's not like we're still 22, trying something new, just a pastime. I don't think that we ever could work this out. None of it makes sense, there's no reason why I still fall back to you.
Now, let me begin with this quote from Marianne Williamson. She once said that you may believe that you're responsible for what you do, but not for what you think. The truth is that you're responsible for what you think, because it is only at this level that you can exercise choice. Now, what you do comes from what you think. Welcome to Love Always by Omobola Stephen. Now, you want to know what I want to be discussing today? Chill, I'm going to tell you. Now, I want to talk about taking responsibility for your life, and I have a guest with me on today's talk show. You want to know more? Just check around. I'll be right back.
Just to feel something, get my heart beating again. I should probably let you go. I know I can be cynical, make everything difficult, but it would take a miracle now to fix the problems. How come we're holding?
Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to Life Well Lived by Omobola Stephen. It's an engaging and enlightening talk show on life, relationships, and the business of life. Grab a cup of juice and just chill. Life Well Lived by Omobola Stephen. Live life. Live fully. Welcome, everybody, to this week's episode. We really appreciate you joining us. This podcast really shows us how we can all learn, live, and thrive off of each other. By sharing our knowledge through our conversations, we will impart some knowledge whilst learning ourselves how to progress even further. Here is your host.
So welcome to Live Always by Omobola Stephen. My name is Omobola Stephen, and so on today's show, I have a guest with me. Erica Lynn. She's a motivational speaker, an author, and a coach. Now, really, you can feel confident engaging in the process. Erica will guide you to overcome your obstacles. Now, I'm telling you the truth. Over the years, our expertise has been honored with remarkable and notable accolades, including a degree in healthcare administration and a certified life coach. Also successful ways to wholeness and healing, as she demonstrated in her book, The 7 Techniques of Healing. While Erica take you to another level with her core program and masterclass, she also serves as a trusted board member of a nonprofit Youthful Life. Erica also reaches an international audience through a 30-minute podcast and various social media networks. In addition, she's an entrepreneur, motivational speaker, facilitator, and transformational coach. In her leisure time, she enjoys acting in roles that motivate others, such as a play titled Hollywood for Circus. Now, I needed to know some amazing facts about Erica. Now, 5 amazing facts. Number one, she was on welfare with no vision. Check. Number two, she had fears and traumas that stem from mental and physical abuse. Check. Number three, she graduated from college from at the age of 39. Check. Number four, she hit rock bottom after college. Check. Lastly but not least, she fought for her healing and started her own company, One Step Beyond. Now, welcome with me on Life Well Lived by Omobola Stephen, Erica, Lynn. Thanks for coming around.
You're welcome, and thank you for having me on your show. It is such a pleasure. I'm in Africa. Yay! I've always wanted to go.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Now, Erica, now I want us to talk about responsibility, taking responsibility for your life. I think that's very important. And so you have a book about the 7 techniques of healing. Can you tell me about it?
Well, the 7 techniques of healing, it started out as writing a book about my journey and the things that I had to go through and how I overcame it. And as I was overcoming these things, and as I was writing the book, I said my thought process shifted. It was like, well, if I was able to use these techniques so that I can, overcome it, how can I put it in a way that can help other people as they read the book? And so the book went from providing you with a story, then with the strategy to how to overcome it. But then it asks you deep questions about yourself, right? That you have to be truthful, because if you lie, then you're not doing anything but lying to yourself. You're not lying to me because I'm not there with you. I'm just giving you the tools to help you get started. So you have to be willing to be transparent and be open. And so the book guides you through with question and answers and strategies that you can utilize as you go through the 7 techniques. And so, for example, the first technique is to heal, right? When you heal, in order to heal, we have to begin to peel back your layers one by one by one. And as we're peeling back the layers, we're peeling back the pain, the abuse, the molestation, somebody wronged you, your husband yelling at you, the kids going crazy, all of these layers, so that we can identify what is the real root cause of your pain. Because oftentimes the pain that we all experience is part of our core, right? Our core is the center part of our body. You know, when you exercise, your trainer, she tells you, you have to get your core stable. So you think that when you stabilize your core, you got to have rock solid abs. That's not it. You have to strengthen your core so that your core can handle the whole rest of your body. If you strengthen your core, that takes the pressure off of your back. They take the pressure off the other parts of your limb. So that's the same with healing. That's the same with life. If you strengthen your core, if you fix the broken areas, the pain that you went through, then as you begin to go through life, now you can handle the things that come at you. You won't break down when somebody yell at you. You won't go cry in the corner. You won't be sitting in your car crying like, oh, I can't deal with it. You will then be equipped with the tools that you will need in order to handle and help you go through life.
That's right. Right. So I want us to talk a bit about you graduating from college at the age of 39. You know, there's so many people out there, they're so full on and so confused, and some of them have given up, you know, like, oh, I'm just 45. I've not been to high school. I've not even graduated from college. So what about it? So many people out there are giving up. And so I tell people, there are so many people out there who are 40s, in their 60s, in their 70s, 80s, and they're still, they're still in school. The thing is, you need to be able to have a mindset. You need to be able to have a positive outlook to life. Being able to tell yourself, I can do it, and taking action, being responsible for your life. And so can you just share a bit about your story?
Well, I had tried to go to college several times, and I dealt with migraines. So that's part of the piece that I didn't put in the bio. I had migraine episodes really bad. I was real sensitive to light. So I could get dressed up, look just like this. I remember my final exam day when I was 19. I was dressed, looking beautiful, went down the dark stairwell in the hallway, opened up the front door. The light came in, flashed in my eyes, and I turned around and I got back in the bed. And that was the start of an episode. So my episodes would go on for 4 to 6 hours where I would vomit, go, just pass out, hot and cold sweats. the pain would be so excruciating to where I just pass out on the floor. So back then, migraines was not a medical diagnosis, so you couldn't get excused from final exams or work or anything like that. So every time I tried to achieve something in life, I had so many things blocking me, from the migraines to the pain, to the abuse, all of that. So finally, at age 35, the migraines subsided. I was divorced from all of that abuse. I had got rid of all of the things that have been holding me back. My children were of age, and I was finally ready to take life on by the head, right? So I went to college at 35. My kids were helping me actually study, because my daughter, she's a straight A student. So she was helping me, and I was just focused. I was determined regardless of what happened. And after I graduated from college, I said, finally, I'm going to get a job that's going to pay me a lot of money, that I'm going to not be broke. I'm never going to have to go back to welfare again. And for those of you who don't know what welfare is, it's a public assistance program that they give to us in America when we're low income. So it helps provide us with food and just a little bit of money to help you get by. And so I said, I'm never going to have to get public assistance. I'm just going to finally be in a great place.
Independence, that's right.
So I'm at work. I'm at my dream job. I got my dream job and what I went to school for. So I'm working my dream job during the day, and at night I'm working at the hospital. So I'm working 2 jobs and I'm hustling. So I'm always working.
Wow.
Every day for 1 year, I sat at my desk and I cried every day for 1 year. I would go to work in the morning and I would cry from 8 in the morning to 11 a.m. in the morning every single day. My coworkers didn't know, because my back would be turned towards them in my cubicle. And I would try to listen to Bishop T.D. Jakes, and that would make me cry uncontrollably. I would try to listen to positive things, and it just would tear me down. And at 11 a.m., I would shake it off, and then I'm able to go and mingle with everyone. I didn't understand what was happening. What was happening was I never fixed and healed from the things of my past. So finally, the past just finally began to resurface from out my subconscious, and it just caused me to break down, because that mask that I had been wearing all these years, it was cracking. He was able to see through it. He was able to see the real person, and my weakened, broken foundation could no longer hold it anymore. So
that's right.
And I hit rock bottom, and I was suicidal at that point.
Oh, so right. So can you just tell us a bit about this rock bottom experience you had?
Well, for me, after, like I said, the kids were gone, I was living, alone by this point. I worked all the time, stay busy, right? If you notice anything about yourself, you stay busy. So if you stay busy enough, you never have time to focus on what the real issue is. You never have time to focus on your truth. So this particular time in my life, my second job, the work had slowed up. I still had the job, but there was no work for me to do. So I couldn't go to work in the evening. Then the hustling, that slowed up. So I couldn't make money there. So I only had the day job, and there was no overtime, because I was an overtime queen, right? That's how I stayed afloat financially, by working overtime. But it was just strictly 8 to 4. I would come home and sit in my rocking chair, my brand new rocking chair that I never used to get a chance to enjoy, my cable that I never got a chance to watch. So I'm sitting there and I'm rocking in the chair day 1. Now, by the time day 2 came, now I'm looking around like, oh my God. So now I'm being forced to deal with things that I've been able to avoid and run from and hide from all these years. Finally, it began surfacing all at one point. And it just, and that's when the rock bottom hit. And I was just like, oh my God, I couldn't really deal with my reality, because I was forced to deal with my reality for once and for all.
But what do you think? That's great. What do you think is the best offer for you? I think it's once and for all, you just have to confront, your fears, confront whatever challenges it is. And so I'm glad that you did so. So what like I wanted to ask, why is happiness so elusive? Like, let's talk about relationships a bit. It's a bad thing when someone you had dated for a while now, probably like from 10 to 20 years, and comes around to start a relationship with you. That's really worth it. Can you give a second chance? Can you give it a try?
Well, what happens is if you never healed or fixed yourself from the issues of the past, when the guys come to be with you or girls come to be with you in a relationship, all you're doing is carrying over that old hurt, that old pain. Yeah. So he's coming to you from a whole happy place, like, my intention is to marry you and be with you. And you're like, are you going to abuse me? Are you going to do this? If he yells at you, oh, don't talk to me that way. So now you got a man that's looking at you, at a woman that's broken, that never healed. And so now the things that somebody else did to you in the past, you're making him pay for something that somebody else did to you.
That's dumb.
And in order for you to not make the new person pay for what the old person did, you gotta fix you. You gotta fix those areas. You gotta heal from those traumas, those experiences. And so you can have a successful relationship. That new person, he just got to be pretty darn understanding while you go through it. However, and that's if he's willing to wait while you go through your healing process while y'all together. But my best advice would be to fix you, heal you first before you get into a new relationship.
That's right. I think that's very important also. That's very important too. Sometimes I ask to myself, do men have feelings at all? Do they have feelings? Because why are they so emotionally detached, when it comes to this relationship and marriage thing too? Why do ladies have to do all the work of making them love us, care, and give us the attention and understanding that we need?
Well, you don't. However, you teach a man how to treat you.
Oh, I see.
You teach a person how to treat you. If he comes into the relationship and he's not willing to give you the things that you want, then that's up to you if you're going to accept that. But everybody is workable. And what I mean by workable is he may come in one way, but you teach him how to treat you. So for example, if he's a person that yells a lot, right? But you really like this guy. But that's the one thing about him that you don't like is that he yells at you. So you tell him, I don't like guys that yell at me. Like, we can be good, but I don't like guys that yell at me. And he goes, well, why? I said, well, there's consequences. If I've given you a warning and I told you what I don't like and you continue to do it, then you're going to have to deal with the consequences. And he goes, oh, she's just talking. And the consequences don't even have to be harsh. He says, so he yells at you again and you go 1 strike. He yells at you again, 2 strikes. He does it again. You say, this is his 3rd strike. And well, what are you going to do about it? And then you completely cut him off. Cut him off. Don't answer his phone calls. Don't look at him. I know you want to deal with this guy. Just don't do anything. Just completely cut him off.
That's right.
And when he comes back, I promise you, he'll never yell at you again. I promise you. Because he knew what that felt like for you to not be a part of his life. Because when you were in his life, you added nothing but value. Now you showed him what it would be like if you weren't even there.
Oh, Christ.
Stand your guns. Listen, I'm talking about something that I know. Somebody did it to me. And I was like, oh, this is what it's like. So you teach a person how to treat you.
That's right. Also, you need to create the life that you want for yourself. So it all starts for me because I can see from your conversation that you really focusing. We need to focus on ourselves first, and I think that's where the healing and the successes, starts from. We need to start from ourselves. Sometimes you're in a relationship and you realize that the other party is not treating you well. At times you need to have a self-examination. Ask yourself, probably the problem is coming from me. The reason why someone is behaving in such a manner. Probably my approach to situations or what I'm passing out, my communication, the feedback. We need to be able to work on communication skills and also the feedback. I think it's important. I can relate really to what you And so thank you for that. So I wanted to ask you, what advice can you give to someone that is struggling with balance? I think balance is very, especially at this moment in our lives, it's very important for us to talk about, and we can't really, stop talking about balance. So what advice can you give to someone, about balance in this 21st century?
Well, balance is something that's important. It's not always easy to obtain, but it's important.
That's
and
right.
So one way that you can find balance is make a list. Make 2 lists. All the things in your life that you're doing that's important. All the things in your life that you're doing that's not so important, but you're doing them. And so in this list, you need to compare the important things with the non so important things. Then you have to begin to alleviate some of the things that's not so important, or schedule them out from a time frame. So where you might do something today and you do something else next week. Don't try to squeeze it all in, because you're just one person. And so when you begin to stretch the things out, so to speak, don't put so much on your plate, that helps you get a mental balance, right? That's just like somebody's just trying to start a company. You got all of these important tasks that you got to do, and you have all of these things that need to be done by a certain time. So how do you find balance in that? You delegate. You find somebody else to take care of some of the tasks that's not so important, or some of the important tasks to take the pressure off of you. Then you're able to find balance in your business.
Yeah, so you hire someone, to do the job.
Right. So don't try to always do it by yourself. So that's one of the things that I talk to people about is when you're going through this process of healing and growing and trying to achieve your goals, in order to find that balance, you have to understand that you cannot do everything by yourself. It is okay to pick up the phone and ask for help. Get you a coach, get you a counselor, get you a therapist, get you a secretary, assistant, get you some friends that you can confide in. All of that contributes to you finding your balance.
Definitely. And it's also okay for you to say no sometimes.
Yes. Yes, I had to learn that lesson the hard way. And I'll share a quick story with you. I always was the mom that would give my kids whatever they want, even if I couldn't afford it. Now we're saying I'm on welfare, right? I couldn't afford a lot of things. And so I would do whatever I needed to do to come up with the money to make sure that the kids had everything that they need. I mean, I would do whatever, and we're not going to go into whatever.
That's right.
Use your imagination.
That's right.
So when I was at a point where my finances were strapped so bad that I couldn't even buy groceries for 3 weeks. I couldn't barely pay the bills. I could no longer breathe anymore. I had to pick up the phone and call my kids and say, listen, I got to file bankruptcy. So you guys figure it out. Make your own money. You guys are old enough. Mama can't do it anymore. So now when they call me and I say no, I feel good about saying no. So, but I told them in the beginning, I'm not co-signing for no cars. I'm not doing because I did it all. Co-signed, took out loans, all of that. And it affects me. It caused me to be in a financial strapped position. So from that experience, I'm okay with saying no. I smile. I be like, no. They be like, are you serious? Yes.
In fact, that's a sign of it builds healthy relationship. It also builds up self-respect for you on your own part. People tend to respect those who can have a stance and say, oh, this is setting up a barrier, healthy barrier, like, oh, this is my no and this is my yes. I think it's very important for your own overall well-being also.
Yes,
it's been like Omobola Stephen. I've been hanging around with Erica Lynn. She's super loaded. Now, Erica Lynn is a motivational speaker and author and a coach. And really, in a lifetime, she enjoys acting roles and motivate others, such as a play titled Hollywood for Circus. So I wanted to ask, what inspired you into acting? Because you featured in Hollywood for Circus.
Well, what inspired me to do acting was I would get on camera and do the shows, the live, the podcast, and I would totally bomb. The words would come out my mouth, but if you guys, and I never took the stuff down because I want people to see where I came from to where I am now. So my very first podcast, I would go, I'm Erica Lynn, and welcome to Erica Lynn. And my friends would go, why are you yelling? The microphone is right there. And I was like, well, I need for people to hear me. He's like, all you got to do is turn the microphone up and they can hear you. And so I decided to sign up for acting class because I thought that it would help me take away that fear from being behind the camera, that fear from being on stage. Because when I would get on stage as a motivational speaker, I would be so nervous that you can hear sometimes the quiver in my voice. And so all of these are part of some of the techniques that I utilize to help me get over the fears and stuff of speaking in front of large crowds and speaking in front of cameras. And it just turned out to be a success. It's all a strategy. Like if you see the most successful person and you think that that person just woke up today and they became instantly famous, the part that you don't see is the other 20 years that they took classes and coaching and training and the people that they hired. And so I just happen to do it in the front of the camera so that people can understand and see my journey and walk with me.
That's right.
Continue to go on this journey.
Wow, brilliant. That's well said. So do you have any project you're working on presently?
Do I have any
project?
Any projects?
Yeah.
Well, I don't have any projects as far as acting is concerned going forward because it takes up a lot of your time. You have to go to rehearsal, several times a week. And I have this full business that's going on, clients and coaching, and then I'm releasing my new Erica Lynn Speaks membership program. That's I'm putting names on the waiting list, and so I got a lot of other stuff going on. But as far as acting, maybe in the future, but right now, no.
Oh, that's right. Thank you so much for coming, everyone, on the show. Please, do you have a parting word for my listeners?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, what's most important is you.
That's right.
I want you to begin to ask yourself those uncomfortable questions. What do I want? How am I going to get there? What road am I willing to travel? When my road gets tough and life starts coming at me and I feel like giving it all up, am I willing to fight for me? Am I willing to fight for my healing? Am I willing to fight as I go through my journey? So if you answer yes, then that means that you are willing to continue to grow. You are willing to walk. You are willing to go on your journey. And if you say that I'm on my journey and I can't go any further, or I can't do it by myself and I need a little help, then you guys can reach out to Omobola. She can help you on your journey. Or you can reach out to Erica Lynn. I will help you on your journey. But at the end of the day, do not give up, because life is always going to come at you. Just be willing to stand up strong and fight for you, because you are the most important person here.
That's right. Absolutely. I love that, Paylan. You are the most important. In fact, I always remind myself that God values me much more than anybody else. And that's very important. It should be a mindset that we need to work on. That's important also. Thank you once again, Erica Lynn, for coming around. It's really been an amazing time, having this talk show with you. I'm really, really super thrilled by your journey. Very inspiring and motivating. And so I think we can do this some other time.
Yes, absolutely. And for your listeners that's listening, I would love for you guys to go to the website, ericalynnspeaks.com, and get your free download. So there's something that I'm giving to you for free. There's 3 ways to overcome your weakness. You say, well, how do I overcome my weakness? Well, I gave it to you in a PDF document that you can download. It's going to give you step-by-step to how to overcome your weakness. So all you have to do is go to ericalynnspeaks.com and click on free download. You guys are going to love it. I want it to be a blessing and give you guys something free from me that will help you go into your next journey or into the next steps of your life.
Thank you so much for being a blessing to humanity. And so I wish you best of luck always, now and always in your future endeavors.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you for having me.
Thank you so much. All right.
All right. And so thank you once again for hanging around this show. Why not let's do this some other time? Stay safe always. It's bye for now.
Wanna move my feet, wanna drink my wine. Wanna move my feet, wanna drink my wine. Wanna move my feet, wanna drink my wine. Wanna move my feet.